Amos 1. Amos. Amos. I read from the Institute for Scripture Research, the ISR, because it takes a direct translation from Hebrew to English, Greek to English, and Aramaic to English. Yah is short for Yahweh, Yahweh, Yod-He, Vav-He. Yah is the Elohim of the heavens and the earth. Excuse me. Yah is an extremely jealous El. He doesn't even want the names of idols or mighty ones to come to our lips. And the letter J is about 600 years old, while the son of Elohim, Yehoshua, died on a stake for the sins of all of humanity more than 2,000 years ago. And a direct translation from Hebrew to English, Yehoshua is Joshua. Amos 1. The words of Amos, who was among the herdsmen of Tekoa, Tekoa, Teqowa, which he saw concerning Israel, Yisra apostrophe E with a half a check mark L, in the days of Uzziah, Uzziyah, sovereign of Yehuda, Yehud with a line underneath of it, AH, and in the days of Yeroboam, Yarob with a line underneath of it, apostrophe AM, son of Joash, Yo apostrophe ASH, sovereign of Israel, 2 years before the earthquake. So E with a half a check mark is always, the half a check mark is always on top of the E, and it seems to only be with the E. So, and it's always on top of it, it's never underneath. Same with H with a dot. When I say H with a dot, the dot is underneath the H, directly in the middle, and it seems to only be with the H. And the line is either underneath or on top, but it's always in the middle of both, either on top or underneath. But anyways. And he said, Yahweh okay, and since I messed that up, I'm also going to point out, I will enunciate words and names a little bit more than others, because those are the names or titles of Yahweh or Yehoshua. And he said, Yahweh roars from Sion, Tsion, and gives forth his voice from Jerusalem, Yerushalayim, and the pastures of the shepherds shall mourn, and the top of Carmel shall wither. Carmel, Karmel. The top of Carmel shall wither. Thus said Yahweh, for 3 transgressions of Damascus, Dammeseq, and for 4 I do not turn it back, because they threshed Gilead, Gil apostrophe AD with a line underneath of it, with threshing implements of iron, but I shall send fire upon the house of Hazael, H with a dot, AZA apostrophe E with a half a check mark L, and it shall consume the palaces of Ben-Hadad, BEN dash capital HAD with a line underneath of it, AD with a line underneath of it, and I shall break the bar of Damascus and cut off the inhabitants from the valley of Awen, AWEN capital V in valley, and the one who holds the scepter from Beth Eden, BE with a half a check mark, YTH, and then Eden is E with a half a check mark, D with a line underneath of it, EN, and the people of Aram, ARAM, shall go exiled to Quir, QIR, said Yahweh. Thus said Yahweh, for 3 transgressions of Azza, AZZAH, and for 4 I do not turn it back, because they took into exile, an entire exile, to surrender it to Edom, ED with a line underneath of it, OM. But I shall send fire upon the wall of Azza, and it shall consume its palaces, and I shall cut off the inhabitants from Ashdod, ASHDOD with a line underneath of it, and the one who holds the scepter from Ashkelon, ASHQELON, and I shall turn my hand against Equan, EQRON, and the remnant of the Philistines shall perish, said the Master YahWeh. Thus said YahWeh, for 3 transgressions of Sor, TSOR. I lost where I was at. I was just reading it. Thus said YahWeh, for 3 transgressions of Sor, and for 4 I do not turn it back, because they surrendered an entire exile to Edom, and did not remember the brotherly covenant, but I shall send fire upon the wall of Sor, and it shall consume its palaces. Thus said YahWeh, for 3 transgressions of Edom, and for 4 I do not turn it back, because he pursued his brother with the sword, and cast off all compassion, and his displeasure tore incessantly. INCESSANTLY. And he kept his wrath forever, but I shall send fire upon Teman, TE with a half a check mark, MAN, and it shall consume the palaces of Botzrah, BOTSRAH. Thus said YahWeh, for 3 transgressions of the children of Ammon, 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 and for 4 I do not turn it back, because they ripped open the pregnant women in Gilead to enlarge their border. So I shall kindle a fire upon the wall of Rabbah, RABBAH, and it shall consume its palaces with a shout in the day of battle, with a storm in the day of the whirlwind, and their sovereign shall go into exile, he and his heads together, said YahWeh. I think when they say they ripped open the pregnant women, they basically aborted their babies. They murdered them. Abortion is murder. I don't care how you want to look at it. Abortion is murder. Keep your legs closed. Don't dress like a whore. Don't be stupid. If you're out partying at a club, taking pills, and somebody touches you, it's your own fault. What are you doing at a club? Taking drugs with a bunch of strangers. Walking in the middle of the night. Why do you not have people around? And I know that might sound really harsh, but to be quite frank, if we didn't just slap people on the wrist for raping and murdering and pillaging, we wouldn't have so many people doing it. Anyways.